For those watching the recording, appreciate you joining. Give me a quick minute. It's I'm still getting used to setting up all these different streams. Give me a moment. All right, I think we're good. Good on the YouTube. What's going on TikTok? We back on? Yep. So we are gonna check out our ATAs. Man, these things have been firing like absolute crazy. I want to show you. You can see the trades that it's doing. So like when I click on exchanges, I'm just gonna open this up here. Let me move it into here. Okay. When I click on exchanges, you can see 231 trades. Like, geez, like this thing just keeps on climbing, right? You can see the percentage that the account's going up. Again, we can see our open trades in the trading ATA here. So let's just load that. I like to match that with what my trading view sees. You can even start your day by looking here to see, is anything deep, right? Is there something you should look at on your trading view? I mean, look how well this thing is holding up. Our XRP is killing it. Look at this. Both long and short just barely negative, which means it's just absolutely trading both ways awesome. You got Litecoin, it looks like it's holding pretty strong on its short, and its long is not too bad. We'll take a look at Aave, getting a little bit deeper in the trade. Looks like it's did a DCA2 based on my volume. So this is another way I just wanted to kind of show you guys how to look, kind of to start, right, as far as what you should look at, because your dashboard right here is going to tell you everything you need to know, right? And then you can also click over to the history first, just to kind of get an idea of how it's performing. So we'll take a look at the history for everybody. So you can see, so far so good. Look at this Litecoin, right? $4 on that one. I'll take that. This happened at 7:44 too, just barely happened. But a lot of wins. This is all 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. I mean, just there's a nice little $2 one from ETH. It looks like happened last night. Let's look at the overnight ones. Those are the ones I love, right? Because you wake up to just wins. So from the time I went to bed, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 wins until I woke up. So love that, right? But I mean, just nothing but green. Love it. So let's get into it. Before we start, I do want to start where I talked about yesterday. Again, we'll just review the economic calendar. So let's just take a look. I don't even know what it's today, Thursday. I'm losing my days. So we'll just see if there's anything crazy. I mean, we got a lot going on today. Like, you can see, you can always tell because when you see it got a lot of content in here, right? It's in the main thing you're looking for is these little bullheads here. When you get that triple one, right, it's gonna be pretty impactful. So it looks like the Euro one came out a little bit bullish, which is good, but we do have some bearish in here. Probably canceling out. Let's see, initial jobless claims, so we're bullish on that one. That one looks like it actually just came out. It's kind of a situation where bullish but not bullish a lot, so we'll see how that impacts it. We got a couple other things. So it looks like most of the US stuff is not too bad after that. This is probably the one that's going to impact the most. So the biggest ones I look for, guys, honestly, the ones that are going to impact your decisions of whether you want to pull back some of your pairs or not is like CPI reports, the FOMCs, things like that. So yeah, let's get on to where we're at here. So looking at the overall stock market, I put this out in the room for you guys, but so you can see, I mean, the stock market's just been bleeding. SPX has been kind of in a down spiral. SPY is in a down spiral. I mean, you can see the pre-market's just absolutely dying right now at 392. It's been nonstop down really since 400, right, and 4,000. But if you look at the overall Dixie, it's climbing, so it's same. It's always going to work in that conjunction, right? So the Dixie found its resistance, around the 105.4. It's kind of creeping up on that range. So currently, it's showing this is bullish. So we'll see. We're high in the range here. We'll see if this Dixie can push up to the 105.4. If it breaks it, we're in for a pretty nasty fall. If it can't break it and it rejects again, we should see a pretty good relief in the market. You can see the SPX. So the SPX I run after hours, so it's nonstop going. I like it because it shows me true formations, right? So you have like a shoulder, you got your head, and then now it's trying to form this other shoulder. So if it holds this peak, we should see a nice little push upward and then break this next line, which would reclaim this fall. However, if we break below this head here, right, the 3920 area, then we'll see that fall down to this lower support and invalidate that pattern. But this, when you do the off market, it shows you a little more clear on what the actual pattern's doing, right? Versus on the SPY, I just do the standard one, so it just shows pre-market, but it doesn't really give you. If you notice, the patterns are very different. So with that in mind, we know we're near some heavy support. We could see a little fake push down and then a push up, temporarily, and then test that neckline. So we'll keep that in mind. Nothing too crazy going on that's going to make my decisions a little wild on the ATAs. The market cap, the overall market cap on the 1 hour, that's my favorite one. You can see we continue to play out this bearish divergence. On the Bollinger Band, we are still green, but we are starting to tighten up. And as we talked about, this is just where the battle is, guys. Right here, this black line, this is the 200 EMA. So on the 1 hour, we broke below it, came back up. We tried to reclaim it. We lost it. Both of them have crossed, if you can see that. So we are back in that death cross. My suspicion is we might see that push back up and then a rejection. The only thing that would change that, again, is going to be back on the stock side. So if the stock side plays out this inverse head and shoulder, and the Dixie rejects hard again off the 105.4, then we should see this get enough volume to push it back again, right? So, and then we'll just kind of get this little weaving motion, kind of like you have here, right? Down, up, down, right? And then the crash. So we're just really got to keep an eye on this level here. So we'll just keep that in mind. Again, not too worried from an ATA standpoint. Bitcoin, we talked about this, is just kind of ranging. It's fighting that 23.8 range. We have a couple lower levels to watch around 22 and around 20,100. So we'll keep that also in mind. But when I look at the overall ATAs, most of you guys in the community, we look at the indicators and we look at the actual range that it's playing in to determine the direction. So I'm going to flip over to BTC. So the BTC, as you guys know, I do that one on Live Trader. It's pretty cool. You guys in the room seen this. I just want to flip over and show. So let me see bring up the community thing here. So this is our community here. And so we have, this was the range that I played. You can see this picture as that comes up. And look how phenomenal that did it, man. We caught that range perfectly right at the peak, came down instant profit, right? So it's pretty freaking cool. And the crazy thing is it took like 6 hours for this to play out, right? So talk about patience. I mean, if you're just trading in front of your computer, that'll drive you about bonkers, right? But instead I was out doing stuff and, went to my daughter's softball practice, and that's when this triggered. So I honestly totally forgot I had the trade in until I got the alert. So it was pretty cool. So the reset that I did is here. You can see the range. The yellow is where it started. It hasn't fired yet. The settings are super simple to do, similar as the ATA. We actually have a class today in our room, you guys. If you can, join it. We'll talk about how to set this up. So, but I'm just setting up my range. I only do one trade only because I like to monitor it. And basically what's going to happen is if it breaks below this one and comes back up, it'll take my long. If it breaks above this, comes back down, it'll take my short. So that's my my BTC Live Trader here. So I'm gonna go ahead and close that one. Let's start going through the pairs that I have. So So to see which ones you're actually running, if you click this clock here, as you guys know, you have here I'm running the AVE both directions, ETH both directions, LTC both directions, and XRP both directions. So let's take a look at AVE since that's the first on my list. And let's see how she's doing. So AVE, if you remember from the dashboard, is stuck on one of the directions. Looks like, yeah, the long stuck. So let's make a call on AVE and see what we want to do. AVE overall, not super duper impressed with the performance. It always finds its way out. It's made about $5 in 3 days. It's not anywhere near what like LTC and them have done. You can see here's where it really got stuck, right? So it's stuck again. Let me see what I have enabled. I do have a third DCA enabled at 800, which is basically going to put it at this white line here. I did that purposely because it's similar to this one here, right? So if it does come back down into this range, it has the ability to do another dollar cost average. So that way it'll pull this entry down a little bit. So I'm going to leave it. I'm not super concerned. Not super impressed with the longs on AVE, but let's take a look at the shorts. So the shorts are making up for the longs, so that's good. So the shorts, you can see it got stuck a little bit here, but in this downtrend, it's just absolutely trading like crazy. Only got about 9 trades, but what I don't like when I look at the data is you got 9 trades, 3 DCAs. So it's getting stuck more than it's, pushing through, right? So I'm still okay with AVE running both ways. If you look at my range here, the upper yellow and the lower yellow, we are closer to the bottom here. But we do have a resistance on this green line, so we are kind of in the middle of the shorter time frame range. So I'm going to keep my AVE going for a little bit longer. So, but we're in good shape. We still have the short just barely entered, and the long has another DCA, so nothing too concerning yet. We're gonna go into what's the next one? ETH. All right, let's check out ETH. So this is my ETH one. Let me go to the 1 minute. Let's check out the longs. ETH actually has been doing pretty good. It struggled when I first started it, but you can see it's starting to gain some ground on the dollars, right? So it has 20 trades, 6 times I had to DCA. Don't really like that ratio, but if you look at the DCA points, look at this. I mean, just absolutely phenomenal point, right? So I'm okay with the decisions that it's making. Look at this DCA right here. DCA 1 waited all the way, and it didn't do it on the first one, caught it on the second one, right out, right? So I'm okay with the DCAs. This one is the only DCA'd once. Entry is pretty close, and the DCA is pretty far away. So I'm good with the longs. Let's check out the shorts. Shorts are doing all right. Let's see. Looks like it got stuck back here for a little bit, so that's why it's kind of struggling with less trades on there. But man, it caught up a lot here. Really great DCA right there. Caught it out in profit. Another couple great. Look at this DCA right at the peak. Awesome. And then it's just been riding it down on shorts, so that's awesome. So we'll let that roll again. We got 20 trade, 6 DCAs, so we'll keep an eye on that ratio to see what we want to do. But I like letting ETH just run. Again, I traded at a lower volume on Ultron, so if I have to take it over, I can. We're in the upper range, so we do have plenty of room to fall, right? Because as we continue to kind of round this top, right, you got peak, higher peak, lower peak, right, equal to this peak. Typically, it's a sign that we're gonna have a pullback. I'm still gonna let the long go because I will anticipate and manage my third DCA to be down in this area. So let's take a look at that. Do I have the third DCA on? No, I don't. So a lot of times I don't run this third DCA because I want to see that fall, and then I'll manually enter the DCA back in here based on how that pullback happens. So because we do have a lot of room for ETH to hit this trend line down here around the 1400 range. So very possible to have happen too, especially if the markets continue to crash as they are. So we're going to leave ETH as it is. Let's check, what's the next one? LTC. Man, I love LTC. Y'all know how I feel about LTC. Look at LTC. It's just been a beast. And it's gotten stuck, don't get me wrong, a couple times. But it does well at getting out, right? So look at this long. I mean, just dominates. I mean, Look at this, $47 in 5 days on one pair, on one direction, right? On what I started was a $900 account. I mean, that's freaking awesome, right? So, I mean, this thing, one pair, one direction is already, at halfway what the membership would take to run it, right? Just on one pair, one direction. I love the ratio. 53 trades, 11 times it had to DCA. Never had to DCA more than two, and you got 5 days. So, and 100%, right? Never took a loss at all. You can see our yellow is like way back here somewhere right there. That's our yellow where we started it. I mean, this thing has just been a monster trading these longs. Love it. So I'm going to just let it do its thing. So even the shorts, you got to think we're kind of sideways, but we're still sort of uptrend, right? So even in that uptrend, you can see the yellow. It's been fighting it, but look at these DCA points that it chose to do to get out, right? So as we come up here, we got DCA 2, look at another phenomenal DCA, boom, out in profit. And so we're back in. I mean, so our shorts are barely in a buy that is pretty close to profit, it looks like, possibly. And our long is in a 1 DCA, which is not far from the range. So, and our second DCA is a pretty good spot from our support line. So LTC is in good shape, man. I don't want to touch LTC. I don't want to jinx it because I love securing the profit, but if it ain't broke, right? So let's check out XRP. It's our last one. Let's check it out. So I love XRP. You can see the range. I mean, it's just literally ranging in the middle. That is perfect conditions for our ATA. Hey, sign up, man. You get the hookup for technology there, Wayne. Don't be a slacker. So you can see XRP. I mean, look at this range, right? This perfect case scenarios for our ATAs. So if you come on here and you look at my long since I started it right here, I mean, this thing is just trading like a beast, right? Not a lot of profit, 14 trades, but I love the 2 DCA ratio. So it means it's getting in and it's just winning, right, in 3 days. It only made like $3 on this one. So I think that we may reevaluate the preset volume for XRP. I think it's a little bit low, a little conservative. But overall, the longs have performed really well. The shorts not as well, but still okay. 3 days, 5 trades. It looks like it got stuck here, but it did get out nicely. It got stuck here. Didn't look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times it hit my second DCA. Never hit it. Otherwise, we'd be out in profit. But it's really close, so we're not in too bad shape. XRP. I'm just gonna let it go because I mean the volume's so low that it's not gonna hurt me. So it's just gonna be one of those like every little bit adds up, right? So I'm gonna do something a little bit crazy, and I'm gonna load up Sol. So I don't run Sol a lot, as you guys know, Solana. Very news impacted. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on. I'm actually gonna go aggressive today. I'm going to take a chance and go a little aggressive, and then I'll assess the, because I've done pretty well, so my margin is starting to open up pretty well. So let's activate a Sol, so that way you guys can see how we do this here. So as you guys know, we have the indicator here. We can check to see what version we are on. We're on 1.14, which is correct. So on the Sol, all we have to do to activate this thing, super simple. We just double check long Sol, the volume. I actually have Sol trading on Black Box. Let me get that one out. Let's put it on Ultron. I like Black Box because I can control my volume, but I want to trade Ultron because we have most of our clients coming in are on Ultron, so I want to kind of show them the power of how it can be here. So let me, I'm going to load this chart up real quick, and I got to put in my information so y'all don't get to see that. All right, so I'm just going to load the indicators. All I'm doing here, for those who don't know, when you, for security reasons, when you load up the indicator, it asks you to put in your BlackRock email. And we also ask you to put in a passphrase that you create. this passphrase and stuff is very important because you want to make sure your account's secure and there's no signals that get fired that shouldn't be fired. So we have both of these loaded up onto here now. So let's just go ahead and start from a default, right? I want to show you how quickly this can be done. So we actually do have the 1.15 now, which is awesome on the update. So now first thing we want to do is we know it's Solana, so we have to change this to Solana. We're doing BitGet. I love the moving average. Actually, I might try Parabolic SAR. This is a new one that we added, Parabolic SAR, with this new update. Let me try that Parabolic SAR. Let's see how this one does. I'm only going to do 2 DCAs for Solana. I'm not going to do a stop loss. I know, probably nuts, but let's try it. And we'll do the date. So what is today? 32. And we're at 8. And I typically just do a minute back, 49. And then we click close trade on chart. All right, that's all we're setting up. So I have 2 DCAs. I'm leaving everything else default. Parabolic SAR, I got my stuff, got my long. I got my yellow, right? So once I get my yellow, all I need to do here is come into my alert. Now I do have to get my, if I can find the window with my, there it is. So I do have to get my webhook. You just get that for those who don't recall. You go into your trading ATA. We'll let this load up here. I normally am on that page. So I'm going to copy my webhook. Then I'm going to go back to my trading view. And all I got to do is paste it here. All right. And then I'm just going to choose the long because that's what I just created. And we're going to go over Sol. Oh, actually, I could do ATA Sol long. I'm taking a chance with you, Sol. Don't let me down here. So we're going to mute that one. And I'm going to go short too. Let's see how it does. So we'll go Sol. We're going to do the Parabolic SAR. Let's try this out. We're going to do 2 DCAs only. Put in my time. 3, 2. This, what you're doing here is you're just telling the ATA, because see how it thinks it's in a buy. So you're telling the ATA, look, you're not in a buy. Close that sucker. Let's start fresh, right? That's all you're telling it to do. So you're choosing the candle you want to close fresh on. That's why you're doing the time. Once you get this yellow here, that means that you have that clear to go, right? So we flipped to short like we wanted. We have the yellow. We're clear to go. So let's slide this over. We got our short, ATA, Sol, short, create. And once you create these, you can just come over here and you can check. I always title them ATA, so that way it's super easy to see there. And you can see my ATA long, I got my ATA short, both 1 minute and both active. So guys, we are in on Sol. So what I'm gonna do, this is why I said I'm gonna go a little bit crazy today. I might regret this, but let's see. I wanna get aggressive because I wanna show you guys. So let's start a Doge too. I'm not touching Matic though. Sorry, not happening. You guys in the room know why. Long Doge. Let's do the Parabolic SARs too. So I'll tell you the Parabolic SARs. It's a new strategy we added. If you guys are wondering why you don't have Parabolic SARs, it's not as aggressive, so you may not see as good of a backtest return, but it's a little more patient on the entries. And so I'm testing it because I like it for altcoins because it's not super duper aggressive. It's not going to just jump in, right? So let's see. So we got 3, 2. We're just doing the same thing over and over, guys. And that's the thing is, like, at first it seems like a lot, but you're going to find out that you're really just doing the same thing. Man, that pollen's still getting me. So we have 2 DCAs, Doge, long, Parabolic SARs. Everything looks good. So we're just waiting for that that yellow, which I don't see. Did I mess up something? Let's check it out. 3:24. Look at that. I'm in the future. And my date, I don't know how my time got screwed up. All over the place. So if you don't get your yellow triangle, guys, it always has to be in this area. It has to be. You did something wrong. This has to be filled out. This has to be checked. Period. So let's start the Doge. Let's see, ATA, Doge, long. We're gonna create that sucker. All right, Doge, don't let me down. And let's do the Doge short as well. Parabolic SARS. I'm going aggressive on this because I really want to test this parabolic SARS strategy. So I like to, a lot of what we do is we will back test this stuff, but even on the launches, I like to run things that we push heavily, because if I'm not willing to run it, like, why do we even have it in there, right? And so I want to forcefully over stress my account to push it to the limits, because if I can't do it, then how can I expect you guys to, right? So, and I like to just be transparent and show you guys what I'm doing on here. Now, keep in mind, man, when you're taking risks like this, Doge short. When you're taking risks like this, you may have to take a loss, right? I have to make that determination. And that's what I do each morning, is I just assess what coins I added. If I like something, if I don't like something, I'll kill it. I have no problem taking a loss, right? That's part of trading. We take our risks, and if it doesn't play out the way we wanted to, then we just take those losses, right? Now, if you flip to your alerts, I'll show you guys later. Oh, look at this. Sol already took a trade. What a beast. Look at this, already in a short. When you click your alerts, you can see here all the alerts that have happened. This is where you're going to check your kind of stats, right? So I'm actually a little overextended, guys. If you're following me, just be careful. If at the end of the day, it comes down to margin, guys. People ask me, well, I have my $1,000 in my Ultron. I should be able to run everything, right? No, it's 1,000 is minimum, but you can run everything. You can come in here, guys, and you can run every single freaking pair that we have. Just have enough money in there to cover it. You may want to put, $2,000-$3,000 in there to have plenty of margin, right? I'm a big fan of running higher account sizes, so if you want to put $3,000 in, you could go to a Thanos and run a higher volume if you know a little bit what you want to do, what you're doing. But don't push it to the limits all the time. If you're new and you don't really know what you're doing, just start out running Ultron, right? Because the volumes are so low, it's not going to liquidate you. And my thing is, I love running more pairs, because sometimes things get stuck. It just happens. And so if you run more pairs, now you have 6, 7, 8 pairs. You don't care if 1 or 2 get stuck, because something's going to be earning, right? Something's going to be moving along. So this thing's going to fire all day long. It's going to be interesting. I love leaving my alerts on my phone, although it drives me crazy, because when I leave my alerts on my phone, I can see the thing working, right? The thing trading. I was at a softball game, or a practice yesterday for my daughter, and I was talking to one of the parents and stuff, and my phone just was like beep, 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 and he looks at me, he's like, "Man, you're a busy guy." I said, "No, this is my trading thing, right?" So I showed him a little bit about what it was, and he's like, so as we're talking, about it, and then throughout the rest of the practice, it just kept going off, and he's like, "Damn, does that thing just go all day?" I'm like, "Yeah, it really does, actually." So for you guys in the community, you guys know what I'm talking about. So, yeah. No, yeah, the spy's looking like trash right now, but it's coming into Deep Panda. It's coming into some support, but yeah, it's definitely looking like poop. So but yeah, I have fun with this, guys. To me, it's like Christmas every time I wake up. I'm super excited to see what it's doing. For those that don't know how to trade, we built this pretty much for you, because you don't really need to know how to trade. The only thing you have to learn really at all is how to understand range, right? Your support range, your resistance ranges. And if you can understand that, knowing when to turn these on or off is huge. But you have full control over it. If I don't want to run any of these, heck, I could kill every single one of these, right? And if you look at where was it? My overall trades, right? So let's refresh this. Let's refresh this page here. I got a couple minutes left here, so I'll just touch on one last thing here. Let's let this load up again. So you can confirm the trades. Like we know we just entered a Sol trade. Here it is right here. All right, so Sol entered the short. Just goes right to your dashboard. It's all here. So I manage my stuff from my dashboard. If there's anything that I don't like that's starting to get super deep, I'll address it. But for overall intensive purposes, if I go to exchanges and you look at your total balance, as long as I'm net green, I don't care if I have to take a loss, right? So I'm still net green. I'm still earning. So if I got to come in here and let's say I don't like Aave and I'm thinking, man, it's just not looking good. Sometimes it's better to take a $15-$20 loss like this one right here and then turn it back on and get it back to trading in that new range to it'll earn that $20 back in like a day, right? 2 days at most. And then now you have it back. You don't have to worry about your margin. Don't be afraid to kill something. You don't want to be emotional about it. Trust your TA with it. Like if you see this thing coming down here like this and your long's getting deep, but you got massive support and you start to see a double bottom, I mean, why would you want to kill that? You know that it's probably going to turn on you. So just keep that in mind when you're addressing the range. So for those in the community, you guys know this whole thing's recorded, so you guys can watch that if you missed the first section of it. I think I'm set. I'm running a little nuts, but we'll see. I got one. Well, I technically got two because I got Live Trader going too, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm running 7 of the 8 pairs, guys. So we're gonna watch this close today. We'll see what happens. But this thing should fire like a nut all day. We'll assess this tomorrow, see how it did. I may do a later assessment tonight if I don't like how it's going. But aside from that, we'll let it roll. We're ahead pretty good, considerably over the last 5-6 days. So I don't mind increasing my risk tolerance a little bit to try to get that extra gain by letting it work. So. We'll see how it does. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off the community chat here. I like to keep that pretty timely, and we did have an end at 9 o'clock. If you guys have any questions, like I said, you guys can always reach us in the community. I'm going to hang on TikTok here for a little bit if you guys have some extra questions, as well as YouTube here. So let's go ahead and stop this. And that's gonna kill this, so let me move this over this way. All right, Papa Bill, if you're still listening, we have a class at 3 p.m. today. So that one we're gonna be talking about the Live Trader, how to trade with it, and then I'll kind of merge in with the a little more detailed how to trade with the range as well. So we'll talk about that a little more intense there. But so I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here on the YouTube.